Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kavamahyam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshikarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Gadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaudashelana He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Pranamami Hari Priya Pancha Kalpatarurvyasya Kripasindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So far covered 4 lessons from the course. Guru Tattva, Prabhupada as founder Acharya, Prabhupada Ashraya, Guru Parampara, Ritvikism, types of gurus, ISKCON gurus, their qualification. We discussed on these subjects so far. So I hope you are doing the homework of going through the handbook, studying it once again. And some of you did the quiz yesterday, so request others also to do it soon. You know, when you do the quiz, the mark will come out of double the actual marks, so don't get worried. If the quiz is of 18 marks, it will show it out of 36 because it takes for English and Hindi together. So don't worry about that, we'll sort that out later. All right, so we'll begin the unit 2 today, lesson number 5 onwards. We'll try to complete 3 lessons today, 5, 6, and 7. So lesson 5 is Guru Pada Ashraya. We discuss about Prabhupada Ashraya. Prabhupada Ashraya means taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Guru Pada Ashraya means taking shelter of a person as one's Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru. So this taking shelter is a science. Nowadays, relationships, they break apart very soon. The reason is that people don't know that in a relationship, when you enter, you really have to enter into it. Really entering into it means you have to begin to understand that now you have to begin to live your life, considering that there's another person also in your life, right? So taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada or taking shelter of a spiritual master means I really need to take shelter. That taking shelter as an external ceremony, but that is not the real thing. People can be part of the ceremony and it can become a ritual. The main thing is the internal acceptance that I am now a disciple, taking shelter. You know, if we don't take that internal shelter and external also we are initiated, it won't make much difference. In the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada mentions, for someone who is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, that person should never experience any problem in life which is not solvable. You know, that means it's a very different kind of life. of a person who is a disciple. It's not that, oh, it's just that it's almost the same, just that earlier I was not chanting 16 rounds, now I'm chanting 16 rounds. Now I have a new name, but life is almost the same. It's not like that. The life goes through so much transformation. But then that transformation happens when I, as a person, know the art of taking shelter. Taking shelter means you allow yourself to depend upon that person's mercy. You allow yourself to depend on that person's instruction. You allow yourself to depend on that person's guidance. So when I take shelter in that mode, then I become like a small child, and the spiritual master becomes like a kind and loving father or parent who will give me protection, guidance. But when I don't take shelter, then the spiritual master also does not give shelter. Which means the way I approach in a relationship will decide from the other end, how will that relationship will be taken, right? Just like Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapatyante tam tateva bhajamyaham. As you approach me, similarly I reciprocate with you. So as I approach my spiritual master, the spiritual master reciprocates with me. If I don't take shelter, then the spiritual master thinks, okay, you still want to live your life the way you think is correct, no problem. I won't interfere. But when I take shelter, then the spiritual master also very warmly welcomes the person into the area of protection and gives protection to that person. Right? So because when I'm a child, the parent would be taking the initiative to protect me. But when I grow up, then the parent expects that now you are grown up. Come on, I won't take initiative. If you need help, let me know. Right? And you should also have the attitude, fine, you make your own decisions and you live your life the way you want to live. Similarly, when I get associated with the spiritual master, it depends on how I approach that relationship. Accordingly, I am given shelter. All right. So that's a very important topic. Guru Padasraya. So within this, we'll cover two things: Guru Padasraya as well as Prabhupada Ashraya. For a member in ISKCON, the first step is to take shelter of Srila Prabhupada, which means that we already are following his instructions, reading his books, being a part of this organization, and we also chant his pranam mantra. But then the next step is you then take shelter of Guru. In Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, also translated as Nectar of Devotion, Srila Rupa Goswami mentions 64 devotional activities that a devotee should do every day. They are not very, elaborate ceremonies. They are very small activities. And if you visit an ISKCON temple, you happen to do most of them without you knowing that those things are done, right? So of those 64, the first 5 are take shelter of a spiritual master, which means it's so important that 5 times he has given the same instruction in a different manner. Another thing, that bhakti will begin by doing this, first taking the shelter of the spiritual master, who is a devotee of Krishna. You must have heard this verse. Srila Prabhupada quotes it very often in his books. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasyeta kathita hi arthaha prakashante mahat manaha. Right? Yes, Lalita Sunil Mataji, would you read the translation?
Faith in both, only those great souls who have implicit faith in the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Svetasvatra Upanishad 6.23.
So to those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, the imports of Vedic knowledge all revealed automatically, automatically it's revealed, right? So who is eligible to take shelter of the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada? And who can do that? Anyone can do that? Some people can do that.
Anyone can take shelter, Prabhuji.
Anyone can take shelter. Anyone who's associated with the society can take shelter. Correct. Anyone can take shelter. Let's do one thing now. Go to your handbook, page number 30. And there's a box there. List some specific ways we can develop a deep, authentic, devotional relationship with Srila Prabhupada from the beginning of our life.
Your Grace, please, what page, please?
30. What are the ways? Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. By consistently reading his books and hearing his lecture on regular basis and being loyal to the society.
Okay, fine, thank you. Some other point, Sirisha Mataji?
Same, Prabhuji.
Shivangi?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Panchang Pranam. By hearing his glories, the lecture where is glorified at least.
Okay, so hearing his glories or reading books about him.
About him.
There's so many books about Srila Prabhupada, his biography, Leelamrita, so many other books. Yes. Tripti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. By chanting this pranam mantra and offering obeisances with the senses.
Yes, every day offering obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and chanting his pranam mantra. Even if we don't happen to visit temple at our home, we must have a picture of Srila Prabhupada, and we should every day make a point that we offer obeisances to him, right? And we chant his pranam mantra. Very good. David Prabhu.
And the other thing is having faith and believing in Prabhupada. Having faith and believing in Prabhupada.
Okay,
his
that's
teachings.
what will be the practical thing to do?
Oh, follow his instruction, the 4 replaces principles, and
What else? That's fine. What else? Which will make it very sure that you are sheltered. Something specific.
reading his books and
Yeah,
chanting the
that's
system.
already said. Okay, so Navnidhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. By attending Prabhupada's morning Guru Puja and offering Guru Vandana to him.
Yes, offering Guru Puja to him. Yes, Guru Vandana to him. Very true.
Okay.
Yes, all right. Yes. So reading his books, distributing his books, hearing his lectures, reading about him in different biography books, then hearing katha about him, pastimes from his life, doing Guru Puja every day, going down to him, chanting his pranam mantra, right? Writing letters to Sri Prabhupada, attending Mangalarti, visiting, if you are in Vrindavan, Mayapur, make sure that you visit his samadhi and go and pray to him, right? So doing that, that will keep our relationship with Srila Prabhupada very strong, right? Very, very strong. So that's needed. Now, some people may say that if you already have a bona fide diksha guru or siksha guru, then why do you need to emphasize on having such a strong relationship with Srila Prabhupada? So we understand that we are emphasizing that in ISKCON because even if we have a very bona fide spiritual master, diksha guru, siksha guru, still his position remains special for us because he's our founder acharya, right? And he's our first siksha guru. So it is so essential to have that strong connection with him. Taking Srila Prabhupada ashraya. So this is mentioned in the handbook, what a devotee should do when gets newly connected to the society or gets someone else connected to the society. ISKCON devotees shall instruct new members to take shelter of Srila Prabhupada. ISKCON members shall choose when and from they wish to request initiation. They must focus their attention on Srila Prabhupada as the founder Acharya and is the preeminent Siksha Guru. After chanting the pranam mantra of the Diksha Guru, all grand disciples and future generations should at least chant the first of Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantras while offering obeisances as a means of respecting the founder Acharya. So here it's mentioned that one should choose one spiritual master, or one should allow others to choose their spiritual master. Here we refer to that as Diksha Guru, and should give them the freedom. Now, you know, what happens is, this should never happen, but it inevitably happens. When we get associated with the society, organization, we get associated through some devotees. That's natural. We are attending some Bhakti Diksha programs, some counseling groups, whatever it may be. And we have our mentors, counselors, guides, senior devotees, God brothers or God sisters or whatever. So what happens is a newcomer thinks that, or a newcomer may not know, that the decision to choose who will be my Diksha Guru is your decision. It's not someone else who will decide it for you. No one else can decide it for you too. It's for me to decide. The counselor doesn't have the right to decide who will be the counselor's Diksha Guru. Right? It's for the person who is taking initiation. I'll give you an example to explain. Even when there is arranged marriage, at the end, it all finally depends on the wish of the boy and the girl. Right? So similarly, when we come across personalities who are Diksha Gurus and can become our Diksha Guru, people may tell us about them. People may point out them. Okay, this is a very nice sadhu, very qualified. This, like that. But at the end, it's my individual decision, because I am going to have an eternal relationship with that personality. So it's a very serious thing. Just like giving an example, when you get married or when you're preferring to get married, you would look out for the right partner, correct? You will find so many good candidates, right? And it's not that you'll only find one perfect candidate or a good candidate. You may get even 5 or 10, and then you have to choose one from them which you think is the best, isn't it? Right? So similarly, choosing the best doesn't mean that the others are not qualified. When we say I'm choosing a particular person as my Diksha Guru, it doesn't mean that the others are not qualified. They are also qualified. It's just that this is your personal preference. Now that personal preference may be due to many valid reasons, not invalid reasons, many valid reasons, but it has to be something like, just like when a girl or a boy looks for a partner in life, the way they go through the whole process, they don't do any kind of hurry because they know it's a long-term relationship. They don't get into others' words. They may take suggestions, they may take advice, but it's their call because it's finally their life. Similarly, when it comes to taking diksha, it's my decision, right? So when I am in the role of a counselor or a mentor or a guide or a preacher, when I start interfering in this particular decision of others, what I am doing is one kind of violence. It's a very subtle violence, but it's a violence. And it is done because of controllership mentality. Because you are connected to me, I have done so much for you, I can control you, your decisions, your life, right? So we should not let that happen with us. And when we become a person who is a preacher or a leader, we should not also do that with people associated with us. We need to get a little more broad in our approach towards Krishna consciousness and understanding what this ISKCON society is, right? I'll tell you a story. When Srila Prabhupada took sannyas in Mathura, of course, he took his sannyas from his godbrother, Soliness Bhakti Pragya Keshav Swami Maharaj. So after that sannyas ceremony, he went to Agra for a preaching program. And he did not have any disciples at that time. So he took some brahmachari disciples of his godbrother who gave him sannyas to go for the preaching program. When he reached Agra, he gave a talk, he met the people there. They were very influenced by Srila Prabhupada and they wanted to take him as their diksha guru. They wanted to accept him as guru. So at that time, these young brahmacharis who came with Srila Prabhupada, they took that person to the corner and said, no, don't take from him. He just took sannyas today and he took sannyas from our guru. So you should all take diksha from our guru. Now, this is a very cheap thing to do. Right? If one does something like that, that means we are still on bodily consciousness platform. We are seeing the spiritual master on physical bodily platform. We have not understood Guru Tattva. Right? We have not understood Guru Tattva. That Krishna will inspire different people to different personalities. We should know this. It's an eternal principle. Right? And we should allow Krishna to do that. We should not interfere in Krishna's plan. Isn't it? So let Krishna decide for that person. Who will inspire that person from within the heart? And let that person take that decision, take that call. So why I'm emphasizing a lot on this, because this has happened in our society, is still happening in this society. And I, as an individual, totally disagree with this. This is not what Srila Prabhupada's teaching is. Right? It brings down again to a material platform. Just like people, they make groups on material consideration. This is my group, this is your group. So the same thing begins to happen in a spiritual organization. Right? So this is my call, my decision, because after all, it's my eternal relationship with that person. Right? And that person also has a responsibility towards me. So if I approach the relationship in that manner, even that person will also be influencing my life like that. I know so many devotees who took initiation because they were in some way immature to decide who would be their spiritual master, and now later on they're repenting about it. Because once it's done, it's done. Now you cannot change. You cannot say, let's divorce. You cannot say so. I mean, that option is still there in married life, but that's not possible in spiritual life. You cannot say so. It's not allowed then. So it is a very serious relationship. So that much time should be given to it. It's very essential. Now, let's talk about what problems may arise due to applying pressure on new candidates for taking diksha before they are ready to make their own decision, or from the preacher's own diksha group. Sometimes people push also, take diksha, take diksha, take diksha, like really like putting that person in a hurry So that is also not really nice. And second is you should take from the person from whom I am initiated. So what problems may arise because of that? What may happen eventually? Yes, Iron Robert.
Prabhuji, before they are ready, their own decision, make their own decision. If they take diksha, then they won't be able to follow all the rules and they won't be able to chant.
Why?
60 hours.
Why?
Because Prabhuji, they are not yet prepared to do so.
Correct, because their commitment will not come from the heart. And if commitment does not come from the heart, it's not easy to follow. Right? One will not be able to follow. It should be a commitment from the heart that I'm committed to it. Yes, very good. Lokesh.
Hare Krishna. Dandasat Pranam, Prabhuji. If we force someone to take diksha and later on they may start having second thoughts.
Yeah, they may start doubting the spiritual master. And if the spiritual master is bona fide, but their doubt is wrong, then it will lead to offense. Which means that person will then be considered offender, and that person's spiritual life will be finished. So big danger. Rishika, Mataji.
Prabhuji, it will be more like a burden to us in a long run, and we'll try to escape the service. So the mood of service, we won't be able to get that mood.
Yes, we may start feeling that it is being imposed upon us, right? It was not my voluntary decision. That is the reason why children of devotees sometimes don't take to Krishna consciousness seriously. Because they always feel, after all, it was not my personal choice. My parents pushed me into it. My parents pushed me into it. It was not my personal choice, right? So that's why they don't feel very strongly committed to it, that I have not given my heart to it yet. So it will have the same thing will happen with them also. They will feel, I did not give my heart yet. Yes, Shivangi.
Prabhuji, if we start doubting the Diksha Guru, they may lead to Vaishnava Aparadh, which may deteriorate their way to Bhakti.
Yes, we discussed that. Abhishek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Maybe sometimes due to the pressure, they may get bewildered and even leave ISKCON.
Yeah, they also may start thinking, this is so nonsense. I did not expect something like that in a spiritual organization. Their faith may get affected, isn't it? So they may stay away from the society. I don't want to be a part of this organization because people in this society are like this. So they may get this impression upon them. David Prabhu.
Yeah, that would not be spiritually connected and the person cannot grow in spiritual life.
Yes, will not be connected from heart. All right, thank you. So next is Guru Padasraya. So we know shelter means being sheltered under these three personalities. Srila Prabhupada, Diksha Guru, Siksha Gurus. Are we sheltered under one of them? No, we are sheltered under all three of them. Individually connected to all three of them. However, now it depends on you as an individual. Amongst these three, with whom you will have the most intimate connection. Right? It's upon you. You may have that with Srila Prabhupada. You may have that with your Diksha Guru. You may have that with your Siksha Gurus. And neither is wrong. I explained this concept already. It's a family. But the shelter is from all the three sides. Prabhupada, Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru. But intimate connection can be more with anyone. Depends. Depends. Like, to give my example, when I came to Krishna consciousness, I was studying in a college and few boys got associated with one temple. So the devotee who was behind the scene for bringing us into this process of Krishna consciousness would meet us once in a while, maybe let's say 4 months, 6 months, and we were practicing almost on our own. So during those, my early days, the only source of nourishment I had was reading Prabhupada books or hearing Prabhupada lectures. And because my initial Krishna consciousness is founded on these two things, so my greatest attachment when it comes to hearing is I like to hear Prabhupada lectures. Even though I hear lectures of many other people, but because that was my initial connect, So for me, that's most strong connect. That is my most strong connect. Reading books and hearing lectures of Srila Prabhupada. That doesn't mean I don't have a relationship with my diksha guru or siksha guru. But this is where I derive my strength from. So for different people, it will be different based on how they got connected, what nourished them the most in their Krishna consciousness, right? It will be different for different people. There's nothing wrong about it. It doesn't matter. Sometimes someone may tell you, oh, you have such a close relationship with your siksha guru, but with your diksha guru, you don't have such a close relationship. Doesn't matter. That siksha guru, but still should be a pure devotee of Krishna. Means that siksha guru should also be quite advanced personality. So if that person is very advanced personality, a pure devotee, it doesn't matter if your relationship with that person is more stronger than the relationship with diksha guru. It doesn't matter. Because those who are pure devotees of Krishna, they don't get envious of each other. Never. They will never be envious of each other. We think so, because we are not pure. So we think they are like us. Right? But they are not like us. They don't get envious. They are very happy. They're very happy if the person is making progress in Krishna consciousness. So they're very happy. Right? So we need to understand this very nicely, that ashraya, shelter, can come from any personality, and it's not wrong if it's within the same family. And by taking that shelter, your faith in others is not reducing, it is increasing. That means you are rightly sheltered. You are in the right place. Okay, take learning. Sometimes a diksha guru is not present always. Therefore, one can take learning, instruction from an advanced devotee. That is called the siksha guru. So siksha guru is an advanced devotee. Generally, we use this term for our counselors, mentees, but they are also siksha gurus, but they are not the advanced siksha gurus. They are siksha gurus because they taught us few things. Just because someone is 1 year senior to me doesn't make that person an advanced devotee, right? So I respect that person because that person is senior to me and that person has brought me to Krishna consciousness or helped me in Krishna consciousness. But that person cannot replace an advanced devotee of Krishna, right? Advanced means advanced, really advanced. Because from that real advanced soul, we can get immense spiritual strength, even if we associate for just a short time. So we need to understand these differences, subtle differences. That is called a siksha guru. Siksha guru does not mean he's speaking something against the teachings of the diksha guru. He is not a siksha guru. So a devotee is delivered through the mixture or combination of various manifestations. Of the Supreme Lord. The Lord delivers a devotee in many ways, not through just one specific personality. It can be through many. Let's read this. Someone would volunteer, please. Aryan Prabhu.
Harmonize. Spiritually mature managers may be the main siksha gurus for devotees who are not their initiated disciples, and such relationships are to be fully encouraged by the initiating spiritual masters. Harmonizing ISKCON's Lines of Authority, IDC Handbook, page 83.
Okay, someone asked a question. What is meant by advanced devotee? Advanced devotee means one who is very strong in one's faith in the process, one who has mature knowledge of the scriptures, one who is expert in sharing this knowledge with others, and one who after a considerable time of sadhana has been able to purify one's consciousness. So you hear, okay, this person has advanced considerably. As such, everyone is advancing, but then we are talking about those who have made considerable advancements. Considerable. So that comes with time, that comes with experience, that comes with knowledge, right? So that's called advanced devotee.
You're mute, on mute.
No, I'm not on mute. I'm not on mute. So that's advanced devotee. All right. So we should associate with such personalities. Krishna can deliver in any way. Yes, Krishna can deliver us through different ways. Through Srila Prabhupada, through the Guru Parampara, through the Diksha Guru, through Siksha Guru, through the holy name, through the devotional service practices. So we have to be more open in understanding this, not closed, that the mercy that we are expecting to come upon us can come from many different angles or directions. So we need to keep that mindset. Sometimes we narrow it down. My mercy will come from my Diksha Guru only. Now what happens then is, I start taking the other relationship with other Vaishnavas not so seriously. Right? That leads to offensive mentality. So our understanding is that the mercy which I require to become close to Krishna can come from any direction. Who knows who is who? You don't know. The person who just joined with you in this movement might already be a very advanced devotee from the previous birth. It is possible, right? But we begin to assume, no, that person came with me, so must be on the same platform like me. Right? But that person may be a very advanced soul coming from a previous life. And who knows, Krishna sent that soul in your life to help you, to assist you, so that you can move forward in Krishna consciousness. Correct? So one has to be very open. Now, how does this happen? This happens when we switch from the mood of choosing the spiritual master and deciding that this particular person is my spiritual master, to the other orientation that irrespective of who around me is an advanced soul and a pure Vaishnava, or who is my Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru, let me be a disciple. Let me be a disciple. Means it's a different approach. I try to explain to you. When people get initiated, they go and they say, I have made this person my guru. Devotees may use a different language. They may say, I'm initiated by so and so, or I have become that person's disciple. But if you see people who are not devotees, they generally say, I have made this person my guru. From today, he or she is my guru. The process of diksha, taking diksha, is not so much of doing this. The process of taking diksha is, from that day you start telling yourself, from today I am a disciple. Because whether you accept that person as guru or not, that person is guru. You doesn't have to rubber stamp that person as guru, right? Whether you accept or not, that person is guru. It's me who has decided to become a disciple, right? That attitude has to be cultivated. And when we cultivate that attitude, then Krishna will help us from so many different personalities. Krishna will send her, or Krishna will send us that whatever we need to grow in Krishna consciousness. And when we don't have that attitude, then we block the helps being sent by Krishna, because it's like, Krishna is sending it from this door, but we tell Krishna, no, I don't want it from this door. I want from that door only. But he's sending you from this door, but you say, no, from that door only. Right? Then you block the help coming to you. So one has to be in that mood. I am a disciple. Study Prabhupada's life. Prabhupada was like this. Prabhupada did not just serve Bhakti Siddhanta. He served his god brothers also. You know, the amount of time he has spent with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, hearing lecture from him, he has spent more time hearing lectures of his god brother, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Swami Maharaj. You know, the amount of time he has spent in philosophical conversation and discussion with his Guru Maharaj, he has spent more time with his god brother Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Swami Maharaj. And the amount of service he has done personally, physically, to his Guru Maharaj, he has done much more service to his god brothers when they were sannyasis and he was grihastha. So he's teaching from his life that it's not that he was only connected to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was connected to the whole family of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, right? And he learned so much. He learned so much. Of course, whatever he did was a kind of a pastime, but for us to learn from it. So that is the mood to be developed, that today onwards I am a disciple. I am a student, which means I'll be learning. I'll be learning from wherever I get to learn. Right? That's the point. So now some practical guideline before we close this lesson. Someone quickly read this. Who has not yet? Yes, Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. For spiritual advancement, the easiest path is to take the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and to serve him with heart and soul. That is the secret of success. As stated by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura in his 8 stanzas of prayers to the spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. By serving or receiving the grace of the spiritual master, one receives the grace of the Supreme Lord. A sincere disciple, simply by serving a bona fide spiritual master, can achieve all the mercy of Lord and the spiritual master simultaneously. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Purport 3.23.
Thank you. So now a practical guideline on how do we choose our spiritual master. Of course, you might have already done it and there's no harm in that, but if you have not done it or you're still confused. So the best way to find out who will be your Diksha Guru is, instead of you doing the search, first of all, you should just go to Srila Prabhupada and you should make a prayer to Srila Prabhupada. That I don't know what you know. I don't see what you see. Right? I'm just a baby, but you know everything. This society is yours. These gurus are your disciples. You know everyone. So we should pray to Srila Prabhupada that you please arrange that I meet my spiritual master. After all, the whole process of bhakti is of depending on mercy, right? Not that I'll do my search, my discovery, I'll climb the Mount Everest. No, we are not in that mood, isn't it? We are in the mood that let the mercy come to us. So we should go to Srila Prabhupada and pray like that. Okay. Then it will be Krishna sent. The Guru will come to us. And that's how actually Guru comes in someone's life. Is it that Prabhupada disciples came in search of him, or it's he who went to them? It's he who went to them. They did not come searching for him. Right? It's he who went to them. And you look at the scriptures, did Narad Muni go to Dhruv Maharaj or did Dhruv Maharaj go to Narad Muni?
Narad Muni.
Narad Muni went to Dhruv Maharaj. Right? Same thing. Prahlad was in the womb of Kayadu. Right? So did Kayadu go to Narad or did Narad come and save Kayadu?
Narad came.
Narad came. Right? So you'll see that it's the Guru who comes in the life of a disciple. Parikshit went looking for Shukdev, or Shukdev came to Parikshit?
Shukdev Kevin.
So we should know one thing, we are lost. So how will we find? One who is not lost will find us, no? Correct? We are lost, how will we find? But one who is not lost will find us. So we have to have that approach that, I want to approach this relationship very seriously. So you make that arrangement in my life. So that's first thing. Second thing, after you do that, and then you have lots of options from whom you can take initiation, because you may have 10 options. Okay, I can take from him also, from him also, from him also. The next thing is that, will that person give me initiation? Because that person should also agree. Right? Now, out of 10, if 5 people have agreed to give you initiation, then the next question should be, out of these 5, with whom I can have the most intimate relationship? With whom I can have the most deep connection, heart to heart. Not just an external official relationship, right? In that way, we should decide. Yes, this person is my specialist. Like that. And of course, there are many signals when one begins to get, when one comes across the right person. You can read about that in the book Spiritual Connection. So those symptoms are visible. Then you know, okay, this person is my spiritual master. Right? So this is the way to find, or come across. Any question on this topic? Yes, David, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Grace. Thank you for this wonderful class. So, the spiritual masters can also appear in your dreams. Is it possible like that?
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
It's
Is
possible.
that a sign, Prabhuji? If he comes in your dream, is that a sign?
It can be a sign, but it's not that. Sometimes you may have other people also come in your dream. It's not necessary that only he first can only come in your dream. Some other people can also come in your dream. So, but it's all about that connection, like sometimes you're praying for it and then you come across that person, and from within the Paramatma is giving you signals. Okay, this is that person, so you should take shelter. So it is something which you can understand if you're just honest with yourself. That's all. You have to be just honest with yourself, then you begin to understand, right? Because you'll get some signals which only you will get. Others will not see that. But you will get those signals. So then you come to know, yes, it is so. Like, this story of Shri Srimad Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj meeting Srila Prabhupada. Shri Srimad Gaur Govind Maharaj was a born Vaishnava. He was not just a born Vaishnava, he was a born pure devotee, right? And a very elevated soul who at the age of 4 would play with Krishna, real Krishna, play with Krishna, such an advanced personality. So when he took sannyas, when he left home, he thought that I must take initiation. I have not taken diksha yet, right? So he had 3 conditions in his mind. I'll take diksha only from that person who fulfills all these 3 conditions. First condition, that person must have utmost faith in the holy name of the Lord. Second, that person should have understood the teaching of Mahaprabhu and should be working very hard to spread this teaching. And third, that person should give me sannyas. Okay. So he was roaming around in Vrindavan like a Babaji, like a mendicant sadhu, sometimes staying here, sometimes staying there, eating here, eating there. So one day he got a copy of Back to Godhead magazine. It was in English, and of course he was a professor before, the teacher, he knew English. He opened it up and he started going through and saw, my God, Western people, Vaishnavas, Mahaprabhu's teaching is reached Western countries also. So he saw the images, and then he saw the whole magazine is full of the holy name, chanting holy name, Sankirtan photographs. So he wanted to know this magazine is published by whom. So he saw the picture of Prabhupada. So he understood, okay, this person, at least he fulfills two conditions. He's spreading holy name everywhere, has faith, and he's teaching Mahaprabhu's teaching everywhere. So he went to meet Prabhupada. Now he's an old man. He was waiting outside. So Prabhupada's one servant told Srila Prabhupada, one sadhu has come, Indian sadhu. He wants to see you. Now, in those days, what happened? These American disciples of Prabhupada, they did not respect the Indian devotees much, because the Indian devotees those days were not so serious, like they did not really join the mission with the spirit of mission, Only few handful were very serious Indian devotees. So they took Indian devotees not seriously. So this person came inside, and then Srila Prabhupada looked at him, and the first question Prabhupada asked him, have you taken sannyas? So he said no. And Prabhupada said, I will give you sannyas. So he understood, this is my spiritual master. I did not have to tell him. And Prabhupada gave him sannyas. So he understood, this is my guru, this is my spiritual master. He knows my heart, he knows me. Right? So what happened, interestingly, when Prabhupada said so, one devotee, disciple of Prabhupada, told Prabhupada, he is a new man, Srila Prabhupada. He is a new man. So Prabhupada looked at him and said, he is very old, you are new. So he is very old, you are, he was a great Vaishnava. So like that, there are many stories. I can share so many stories with you, and then our course will not move on. But stories of a spiritual master meeting a disciple. All right, Swarika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, whom I want to have the discipleship of the person. He is a sannyasi, but his Guru Maharaj is still in the body and preaching as well. And his Guru Maharaj has not given him the authority to make disciples.
Yes.
So what should we do at that stage? Should we wait, or should we open our heart to him?
It's up to you. It's your call. If you want to wait, you can wait. There's nothing to hurry about it. Srila Prabhupada took initiation after 11 years. So one can wait. There's no problem, right? But then one should also speak to that person very openly that in future, will you give initiation? Because it should not happen. You wait and wait and wait, and finally then you come to know that person will not give initiation, right? So you should discuss it out, discuss with that person, right? And in any case, let's say we want to take initiation from a particular person, but we could not, for whatever reason, that person stopped giving, or that person left the world before we got the initiation. We should know, just because of that, our relationship does not break. That's the beauty of spiritual relationship. It does not break, it continues. So that person still remains your Siksha Guru. And from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we understand, it's not that because that person is Siksha Guru, that person's position has come down. Siksha Guru are equal in position. So you may not have that person as your Diksha Guru, but you have that person as your Siksha Guru. Which means the connection is as strong as it would have been otherwise. It's not less strong. It's a very big misconception amongst devotees that Diksha Guru's relationship with me is the only strong relationship or the most strong relationship, right? I can have some other person as Diksha Guru also, and that relationship can also be very strong. Possible.
Prabhuji, with whom my devotee friends, when I discuss all these things, they say, why to wait? You should initiate from his Guru Maharaj. He is more powerful than you.
Okay.
And,
that's fine.
But I heard many of lectures of his spiritual master, but I couldn't connect which.
That happens sometimes. So the best thing to do is you should have an open discussion with this particular Vaishnava and discuss with them. If that Vaishnava says, no, you should take initiation from my spiritual master, then that's your instruction. Go ahead. Right? That Vaishnava says, it's okay, you can wait, then you wait. Right? But it may be this way or it may be that way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we may have our choice, we may have our liking and disliking. At the end, whatever Krishna wants, let's just do that. And be assured, this doesn't matter, because our relationship, that connection can be strong with either Diksha Guru or Siksha Guru or the founder Acharya. That's all right.
Right.
All right. Like I know devotees who took initiation from Prabhupada, but they feel a greater, stronger connection with Prabhupada's disciple. You know, and they strongly feel that it's Prabhupada's disciple who is their god brother will be responsible for taking them back to home, back to Radha. So it happens, and it's natural. It's okay. From the person I want initiation, he lives far away and many times abroad. Well, you can't expect the spiritual master to live next door with you always. You know, it's not possible. It doesn't matter far away or near. We should know one thing, that the spiritual master is never far away if you are a genuine disciple. The spiritual master is with you, right? It's not far away. If we think our spiritual master is far away, then our consciousness about the spiritual master is still material consciousness. The spiritual master is next to me in my heart. How is he far away? Right? And we should know this physical distance is also sometimes necessary, because if the spiritual master is always close to us, we will commit offense. Familiarity, too much of familiarity. Right? So it's always good to stay a little far away from important people in life. You know, if you're too close to them, then you start disrespecting them or devaluing them. So it's nice. There should be sometimes some distance, right? That's not a problem. Far, close, physically, it doesn't matter. You should be able to meet that person. That's more important. Once in a while, meeting that person, that's fine. You know, but far, close doesn't matter. All right, Shivangi.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You mentioned two individuals here. One is who forces us to take diksha, and one who says that, you know, take diksha from this guru or that guru. Please let me know what you think about a person who's also one, like certainly to some extent my Siksha Guru, but says that there's no mandatory to take diksha. You're chanting the holy name, reading books, and worshipping God. That is more enough. Please help me with this.
No, that is also wrong. No, one must take diksha. One can take one's time, but it's not that I will not take diksha. I do not. Because after all, we have to follow the system made by the Supreme Lord. If I'm not following the system made by the Supreme Lord, I am being disrespectful towards the Supreme Lord or disobedient. So this process has been made. Humility means you follow the process. Simple. Right? Cooperation means you follow the process. So I follow the process. The process has been made, so I will follow it. Diksha must be taken, should be taken. It's not that diksha is not important. It is important. When we take diksha, I mean, we don't know the kind of help that comes from that relationship, because the Diksha Guru invests a lot of spiritual potency into us through that person's individual sadhana and bhakti. You know? So it's a without that investment from Diksha Guru, we cannot really succeed in spiritual life, because our past credits are not much. So we need that support from Diksha Guru. Our past credits are very light. We should never think, because I'm following the instructions, just on the basis of this, I'll make to the goal, because that is not sufficient. We need help. We need a lot of help. So that help comes by taking shelter, right? The other thing is, oh, I'm a very strong person. On my own, I'll make it through. But then that will do long time. How much can we do on our own? So taking diksha, I'll explain to you. Like, for example, you are a bad student. You go to school, you sit in the class, still you don't understand. So the father very mercifully arranged for a tutor. Come to home and you just teach this person, this child of mine. Now, if the child now starts thinking, why a tutor? I can do without a tutor. I'm so smart. Then in that way, the child is actually harming itself. Similarly, Krishna knows we are bad students. We need help. So that's why he sends Guru in our life. Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru. And then when he said, no, I don't need that. It's not going to work for us. So we should see it as, many people who say no need of Diksha Guru, they do so because they think Diksha Guru is a burden on me. Like a tutor is a burden on me. But you are a bad child, you don't know. It's not a burden, it's a help. It's a help being sent to you for your benefit. Right? So we must take Diksha. We must take Diksha. David Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Your Grace. I have two questions. Okay, the first one is, for instance, if you have a guru, like you take someone as your guru, and he give you his pranam, do you orally have to discuss with him if he's going to accept you as his disciple, or since he has given you his pranam, automatically has accepted you?
Of course, he has accepted you. Otherwise, why would he give the pranam mantra?
Oh, okay. Thank you. And the second question is that sometimes in your very heart, you want to take the initiation because you want your Guru Maharaj to help you to become pure in your spiritual life. But in one way or another, then you're beginning to have this fear in you that maybe if you're not be able to complete if you are not going to be able to complete his instructions or something like that, sometimes you become fear of that, but that pulls you back. And the other way, something was also pushing you that you need his help. So in these situations like this, what do you have to do?
Bro, it's very simple. You just take shelter and then you express to the person whom you have taken shelter to what your challenges are. If you're not able to follow any instruction, inform that person, I'm not able to follow this instruction. I'm not able to chant 16 rounds. I'm not able to follow this principle or that principle. And then that person will help you out, right? That person will make you come to the stage that you are ready for initiation. So it's not that I have to decide everything. You can express what challenges you are facing from the first day, and that person will guide you, and that person will tell you. If you're not ready for initiation, that person will tell you, wait for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Simple.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hey, life becomes easy sometimes when you ask others what to do, rather than yourself thinking what I should be doing.
Yeah.
You ask the other person, should I wait? Wait, then what to do?
Okay, because this thought comes, and sometimes you begin to have this another thought. Okay, if I will not take the initiation and try to become a pure devotee, or my Guru Maharaj to help me to become a pure devotee, and maybe I die tomorrow. All these thoughts comes to your mind.
Okay,
but anyway,
if you die after taking initiation, it doesn't mean that you'll go back and back to Godhead also, right?
Yes, I understand that.
So
yeah. It's a little bit of confusion. So thank you for your answer. Thank you so much.
Rekha Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji, I was having my problem is I was aspiring a guru for a long time.
Your voice is breaking. Voice is breaking. Can you turn off your video camera and talk, Mataji? So then the audio can be clear. She's gone. Okay, Shri Prakash Prabhu.
Prabhuji, we have seen that sometimes.
Turn off your camera and talk, Prabhu. Turn off your video camera and talk. Turn off your video camera and talk.
Okay.
Rekha Mataji, yes.
Yes, there was some problem. I'm sorry, Prabhuji.
Mm.
Do you want me to repeat my question?
Yes, because we did not hear anything.
Okay. My part of my question was answered by you, but I would like to know my question. I was aspiring a Guru Maharaj for a very long time, and I was doing a lot of following the regulative principles and doing everything. But there were some problems and I could not do the to the T. So he offered me initiation at that time, but I did not take because I was not ready. Because when I wanted to be doing it properly. So I refused initiation. So then I had some problems and I could not come back. Then after that, many years passed away. And now that I'm back, that person is no more. Now that Guru Maharaj has left, but now I'm still aspiring him. So now what is my condition going to be like?
So you take initiation from any other spiritual master.
But he will still be my Siksha Guru. Whatever
Yeah,
he has guided me.
Yes.
It still remains mine.
Yes.
So I can still pray to him and I can still ask him.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
All right. Shri Prakash.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhuji, we have seen that sometimes a devotee gives a photograph of a particular guru.
Yeah.
To the aspiring devotee and is asked to start offering prayers in his altar. So, is this a part of Guru Padasraya? Is it a process?
Yes, it's a process. I mean, Asha means you begin to relate with that person in that mood from the day you have taken shelter. So you offer pranams, you say pranam mantra, you can keep a picture, you can go down to the picture, you can pray to that picture. So it's a part of taking shelter.
Okay.
Right. It's part of the thing. Yes, Lanina Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I wanted to know when we offer food to the deities. I put my Guru Maharaj photos. So is it that he boga? But is it that my Guru Maharaj also is like he's eating?
Okay. So there's nothing wrong if you have a picture of our spiritual master on the place of worship altar. So we can have a picture of spiritual master there. And now whether that person is eating or not eating, that I won't be able to say. But there's nothing wrong, because if Krishna shares, spiritual master can eat. And Krishna will definitely share. So he must be eating. Right.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll meet after the break.
Hare
welcome back. Selection of Guru. So, what should we be looking for in a spiritual master? What are we looking for? This is for you to do. Open your handbook, page number 32, and make it not from your head, but from your heart. Write down this answer. What are you looking for in a guru? Should never chastise me. I'm a very, what you say, delicate person. So my guru should never chastise me. What am I looking for in a guru? What is my, my image of that personality? Any points? Vishal Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So I can mention here who can instruct whenever we need help.
Okay. That's all you're looking for?
Or guidance.
All right.
To elevate ourselves into a devotional.
Okay. All right. Yes, Lalita Mataji.
Prabhu, I would look for a guru who's very compassionate and very humble and kind, and he should be approachable to give us guidance. This is what I would look at.
Okay. But then all these things are they not subjective experiences? There has to be something which is not a subjective experience. Like for example, to me, sometimes the guru may appear to be humble, sometimes the guru may not appear to be humble. Right? Sometimes the guru may not be available to give guidance also. So in that case, what will I do? Cancel? Cancel the initiation? No, right? So these are all subjective points. There has to be some essential things also in that person, no? Which qualifies that person to be a guru. Aishwarya Mataji.
A spiritual father who can bring me closer to Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, and Krishna, like help me proceed in Krishna consciousness.
Okay. But there has to be something in that person also that that person should be, that's like qualified to be a guru. Navnini Mataji.
Prabhuji, I have so many points, but I would like to mention two of them. He must be a part of Guru Parampara and sense controlled.
Yeah, yes. So that person should be a part of Guru Parampara. I know some of you just assumed it like that. Yes. And second, that person should also have control over the senses. These are the objective requirements. It's not about my particular experience. That person should have control over the senses in the mind, That person should be connected to the parampara. That person should be a very nice devotee. That person should have ideal character and behavior, right?
Can I mention more, Prabhuji?
Let's hear from others. Arati Dubhi Mataji.
Prabhuji, I think I had similar points. The person should have control over their mind, so that I'll get inspired to to do so. So all I'm looking for is inspiration. So whatever happens, I should always feel inspired by looking at his life or the examples.
What if you don't feel inspired?
I think that is difficult, Prabhuji.
See, inspiration will come or not doesn't just depend on that person. It also depends on me.
Yeah, I agree.
If I am defective, even if there is a lot of inspiration there, it will not come to me. So our approach towards looking at the spiritual master should not be just subjective. Because subjective means it will be then mixed with my faults. Because I am not perfect, right? So I may misjudge the person. Like I may say this person is not humble, but that person may be very humble. Right? So it should not be like that. First thing is that when we are looking for a spiritual master, we should look for the qualities that the scriptures mention must be there in that person. What are those qualities? So those qualities are sense control, ideal character, behavior, preaches what practices, right? Practices what preaches. Isn't it? That person should have knowledge of scriptures. So these are the things to be seen first, what the scriptures say as the qualification. That is very important. Otherwise, some people may say, my guru is very compassionate. When I told my guru, can I sing a Bollywood song for you? He agreed for that. Very compassionate person. So now, that doesn't make that person qualified to be guru. So we have to look at it from scriptural perspective. Okay? Fine. The next page says the qualities. Vachovegam manasaha krodavegam jivravegam udropasthavegam etan vegan yovishaheta dhiraha sarvam apimam prithivim sashishya. This verse is from Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamrita. Okay. Nirupama Mataji, please read. What happened? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demand, the action of anger, and the urge of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Upadeshamrita, verse 1.
Yes. Upadeshamrita, verse 1. Now, how will you understand that such a person is doing all these things? Controlling the tongue, controlling the mind, controlling. How will you understand? These things cannot be externally judged. Not always. You cannot always externally judge this thing. How will you know?
These are signs of sadhus.
Yes, but then these signs may not be always visible to us externally. Then how will you judge?
By observing him for a particular period of time.
Okay, yes, that is one way. You observe that person for a particular period of time. So for that, you need to spend some time with that person.
Prabhuji, by attending few lectures before.
By attending lectures, how will you know that person eats less?
As we have told, to hear him at least for 1 year.
Not just hear him, spend time with him for 1 year. Not just hear him. You be with that person, you observe that person, you spend some time with that person, you serve that person, So for some time, and in this way, then you observe that person. Oh yes, this person has these qualities. Right.
You can hear from the close associates of that guru.
That can be done. That is also helpful, because one way of getting knowledge is you hear from those who already know. So you can do that, right? In this way, you come to know. And the best way to know that that person is doing this is that you start doing these 6 things. Then you'll understand who is trying to do these things and who is doing these things and not doing these things. One who does not himself or herself try to control anger will not know who has been successful in controlling anger. Because when you yourself start doing it, then you understand what challenges you go through, and how you fail. And when you see the other person, oh, he's not failing, I fail. So this person doesn't fail. Then you know, okay, yes, this person has done it. So we also have to be serious about doing these 6 things. Then we can find the person who is able to do these 6 things. Okay. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva vigachet samit panihi shrotriya brahmanishtam haripatava. Read please.
Qualifications of a bona fide guru. To understand these things properly, one must humbly approach. With firewood in hand, a spiritual master who is learned in the Vedas and firmly devoted to the absolute truth.
Two qualities. First, learn in the Vedas. Must be very learned in the scriptures. And second, should be firmly devoted to absolute truth. Srila Prabhupada once asked, how to know if a person loves Krishna, right? Then Prabhupada said, that person will be mad for Krishna 24 hours a day. It means that person loves Krishna. Means that person won't have time for anything other than Krishna consciousness. Firmly devoted to the absolute truth. Right? These are the 2 qualities. Achara prachara namera karaduhi karya tumi sarva guru tumi jagatera arya. This is Lord Chaitanya's statement to Sri Haridas Thakur. Kunal Prabhu, please read this one.
You simultaneously perform both duties in relation to the holy name by your personal behavior and by your preaching. Therefore, you are the spiritual master of the entire world. For you are the most advanced devotee in the world. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 4.103. Hare Krishna.
So that person should have a very nice practice and also should be a very good preacher. Now, a person is a good preacher. You can observe that even someone is not on it. You can observe that even while being away from that person. But that person nicely practices what he preaches. You have to be close to that person. Right. So sometimes we may get a bit cheated if we don't observe both the acharan also and the prachara also. Don't just look at the prachara. You should also look at the practice, the character, the acharan. And for that, one has to spend some time with that person. In the handbook, it's mentioned, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur recommends at least 1 year you should take to observe that person. 1 year, And that person will also take 1 year to observe you, whether you will become a qualified disciple or not. It's both way, right? It's not one way, it's both way. So that person tests you, you test that person. And once both are okay with it, then go ahead with that relationship. So that is the only time period allowed. After a disciple has taken diksha, then that disciple can never question the guru, why you are doing this. If any such question has to come, it has to come before diksha, not after diksha. That's why, one has to be very sure that this is the right person, not after diksha. It has to be before diksha. So one should not hurry. One should take one's time, observe nicely. One has any confusion, clear it up. After that, that question should not come. That question is not to be there in the mind. And if it comes also, then of course one should try to remove it by association of Vaishnavas, hearing from Vaishnavas. One should remove it out. All right. Who can be a guru? Any particular ashram, sannyasi only? No. Even a grihastha can be diksha guru. Even a brahmachari can be diksha guru. It doesn't matter, ashram. Right? Doesn't matter. Kiva vipra, kiva nyasi, shudra kene noi. Ye Krishna tattva veda, say guru hoy. So in ISKCON we have sannyasis, diksha gurus, we have grihastha diksha gurus. Both are okay. Allowed. No problem. Quickly, please read this, someone. Purnima Mataji, would you like to read?
Qualification of bona fide guru. Even without any qualification, one can become a spiritual master. How now? Now the process is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amara Ajnasa. On my order, that is the crucial point. One does not become spiritual master by his own means. That is not spiritual master. He must be ordered by superior authority. Then he is a spiritual master. Amara Ajnasa. Just like in our case, our superior authority or spiritual master, he ordered me that you are just trying to preach this gospel, whatever you have learned from me in English. So we have tried it. That's all.
Therefore, the process is before accepting a guru, one must hear him at least for 1 year. And when he's convinced that here is actually a guru who can teach me, then you accept him guru. Don't accept whimsically. Selecting guru. Yes, let's read. Sirisha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The scriptures recommend that both the spiritual master and the disciple place each other under strict scrutiny before mutual acceptance. Since even ordinary household items are tested before acquisition, it is only an unfortunate fool who will fail to go through a testing period in the selection of his true spiritual master, who is the best friend of the living entity. The point is that one must not bring upon himself the calamity of having to reject his spiritual master. If one is prudent, he can avoid such a situation. Harinama Chintamani.
So it's a personal responsibility of the candidates, as I already explained before. One should take initiation only after developing firm and mature faith. And that faith is that this person is capable of taking me back home, back to Godhead, right? And one should try to understand the advancement of that person through sadhu, shastra, and guru, right? Even in ISKCON, some people are appointed as diksha gurus. Still, it doesn't mean that because they're appointed as diksha gurus by ISKCON, I should not do my part of checking, because that's for my personal development of faith, So I should do that check because it's my personal faith on that person. So even if they are people who are authorized gurus in ISKCON, in ISKCON we have around 100 diksha gurus, 100 initiating spiritual masters, right? And some of them have many disciples. Some of them have handful of disciples. But we have so many gurus from so many different countries. So they are all allowed to give initiation. But at the same time, me as a candidate should be convinced, yes, this person is pure, qualified, right? To take me back or back to God. That should be done. Now, what are some inappropriate reasons for accepting someone as one's Diksha Guru? Inappropriate. Wrong reasons. Inappropriate. Yes.
One reason can be that he is very famous and has many followers. So
Yeah, he's very famous. He's very famous. So if he's famous, if I become disciple, I will also become famous. Or material fame is proportional to the purity of the person. But that's not so. There's so many people who are very famous and they're not even devotees of Krishna. Right? So popularity becomes the criterion. That's wrong. That's wrong. That should not be the criterion.
Like Krishna Prabhu, it's also maybe because as a matter of passion.
As a matter of? As a matter of?
Passion.
Passion. Correct. As a matter of fashion. Yes, because everyone is accepting. It's a trend these days to have a guru. So I must also have a guru. So that's why it's needed. I must have Diksha. For some people, it doesn't matter. They're in so much in hurry to take Diksha, they'll say, whoever gives first, I will take. I must somehow get Diksha. From wherever I'll get, I'll take Diksha. So that's very wrong. I remember one lady. So she was like that. From wherever I'll get the first proposal for Diksha, I'll take. Because I must take initiation. So I asked her, why? What inspires you to be in so much hurry? Then she told me, then I'll become DD. DD means when you take Diksha, you will get the title Devi Dasi, right? So I'll become DD. So that's why I want to take Diksha. So these are crazy ways of approaching this relationship. Next, Aryan Prabhu.
Because my god brothers told me to take Diksha from this Diksha Guru, or people influenced me to take Diksha from this particular Guru.
Yes, that would also be a wrong way to decide on Diksha Guru. But everyone is taking Diksha, so I must also take Diksha. Why should I be late? So, and so many other reasons can be that person has a foreign body, or that person has an Indian body, that person is born in a Brahmana family, I am also born in a Brahmana family, right? That person gives initiation just in 6 months, the other spiritual master gives initiation in 5 years, that person belongs to the same village as me, that person speaks the same language as me, right? That person sings very nice. I heard that person never chastises his or his disciples. So I also want such a guru. That person is good looking. So many wrong reasons, inappropriate reasons, right? Inappropriate reasons for accepting a guru. These may be there, but these should not become the reason, right? These all points might be there, but that should not be the reason for accepting that person as one spiritual master. Surya Kamata.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one inappropriate approach is the person is very lenient, so he will not impose much services on me. So let me choose this person as a spiritual master.
Yeah, it can be. And that person is not much demanding. That person gives me my private space, my free space, right? So I will not accept that person as my Diksha Guru. So many such things might be. These are wrong. These are not correct. Of course, these may be possible that the person has these qualities, but that should not be the criterion. So here, Jiva Goswami mentioned something very interesting. It is imperative that a serious person accept a bona fide spiritual master in terms of the Shastric injunctions. Sri Jiva Goswami advises that one not accept a spiritual master in terms of hereditary or customary social and ecclesiastical conventions. One should simply try to find a genuinely qualified spiritual master for actual advancement in spiritual understanding. Which means this decision should not be based on the institution. This decision should not be based on the management policies. This decision should not be based on what is practical. It should be based on scriptures. What does the scripture say? Like in some temples, it happens. That's also a very sad thing. It happens in some places. That in that temple, everyone takes diksha from one person. And because that happens, then anyone gets connected to that temple must take initiation from that person. So that's a wrong thing. Then the approach is not that because I have attraction towards that person. It's more of, I am associated with this center, I am associated with this temple, so I must take initiation from this particular spiritual master. So these are all wrong approaches, wrong considerations. This should not be the way. Right? This should not be the way. It's a very unhealthy approaches. For short term, these approaches may give us some managerial control, a better control over the temple or institute. But in long term, it is very dangerous for the spiritual life of those individuals. Very simple. You don't require large definition. What is good? So Vedic knowledge gives you indication. Tad Vijnanartham. If you want to know the science of spiritual life, Tad Vijnanartham sa Guru meva vikachet. You must approach Guru. And who is Guru? Guru means who is the faithful servant of God. Very simple. Right? Who is Guru? Basically, like someone asks you, who is your father? So you say, the person who gave me birth is my father. Did you choose him? No, he gave birth to me, so I'm person's child. No choice was done. Right? That person gave birth, that person became father, I became child. Similarly, who is my guru? The person who gave me spiritual knowledge is my guru. Whether you accept it or not. Right? Whether you accept or not, that person is your guru. Like someone may say in anger, you are not my father. Whether you accept it or not, that person is your father. Because that person gave you birth. Likewise, from wherever we have received knowledge, that person is our guru, whether we accept it or not. Right? Isn't it? So it's not very difficult. It's very simple to understand. Okay. Any question? Any more questions? So we have covered so far page number 37, up to page number 37. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, here we are discussing that we can have both the gurus, that is Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. And I'm confused with the Diksha Guru. What is the exact difference between a Diksha Guru and a Siksha Guru? Because we are saying that Siksha Guru is the one who is guiding us in every way. We can have any, because in ISKCON, the Guru Parampara, it is following Guru Parampara. So I can have initiation from anyone. And I can advance in my spiritual life with the one who is making me in a proper way. I mean, who is guiding me. So I can accept him as my Siksha Guru and I can take initiation from anyone. And he can act as a Diksha Guru. Why should I?
It's not like that. Because the people whom we are accepting as Siksha Guru now, we may say that person is Siksha Guru, but that person is not really that advanced Siksha Guru. Right? So we should know one thing, that the Diksha Gurus who are working or serving as Diksha Gurus, they have become Diksha Gurus because they have gone through a very rigorous test. They have been very steady in their devotional life for so many decades, which means they must have grown a lot in their consciousness. They're quite advanced souls. right? Now, if I met a devotee who is just guiding me, taking me through Bhakti Diksha programs and like this and like that person is not really necessarily that advanced. Okay, that person is more advanced than me, right? So therefore, when we say a Siksha Guru can be as good as Diksha Guru, we should know it's not about any Siksha Guru. It's about those Siksha Gurus who themselves are also pure devotees of Krishna. Right? So it's like that, not that any Siksha Guru. Those Siksha Gurus have to be pure devotees of Krishna. So in general, now what will happen? If you come across such a person who is a pure devotee of Krishna and that person became your Siksha Guru, why won't you take Diksha from that person? Then take Diksha from that person. Isn't it? Yes, unmute you.
Yes, Prabhu. I can take diksha from him. But my question is, suppose the person who is guiding me is not qualified as a diksha guru. But in ISKCON, you said that the diksha gurus are going through many tests and they have given that designation as diksha guru after this all tests. So why I should test in ISKCON, especially if it is in case of ISKCON? Why should I test a diksha guru?
Why should I test?
Yeah.
So that your individual conviction will increase, no? Because one thing is that, okay, that person is already tested, but then you also need your personal conviction to increase. Like to give you an example, Krishna is Supreme Personality of God, it is already tested and proven. Right? But then your realization also should come to that level, no? That Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. So similarly, okay, that person is pure, that is already fine tested by some people, but you also should be able to come to realize that, right? So it's like this. Yes, some good work has been done for you. You don't have to, do all the research. Out of so many millions of people in ISKCON, some are selected. Okay, these people are really qualified. No, still you have to do your part, right? That's very important. You have to do your part. You have to unmute yourself. If you're talking.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I got it.
Yeah, we have to do our part. Okay. Abhishek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, long time back I heard somewhere that after the initiation, our offenses, what we make sometimes, that goes to our guru as well. So is it true? And if that is true, then I really fear that why my the impact of my bad karma goes to my guru as well. Why it should go? Like it's quite fearful situation.
Yeah. So does it go? Yes, it goes. And it doesn't just go to the Diksha Guru. It goes to anyone who is associated with you and has taken your responsibility. It will go to the Siksha Guru also. It will go to the temple president also. It will go to the Bhakti Viksha leader also. Because with whomever we are connected, our karma gets shared. If you do something wrong, it will go to the family also. Right? That's why when let's say I did Vaishnava Aparadh, we should know it's not just applied to me, it will apply to my whole family. Because they are connected to me. And if I please a Vaishnava, the blessings will come to my whole family because I'm connected to them. So wherever there is a relationship, there is sharing of karma. Depending on how much responsibility is there in that relationship, that much karma is shared. And because the Diksha Guru has taken so much responsibility of you, so that person is also sharing in a lot of karma. Now, why that person should go through that? So that people who are Diksha Gurus, they don't become complacent about their role and responsibility. There has to be an accountability factor on their side also, no? Because Diksha Guru means what? That person is accepting all the worship from you, all the respect from you, all the seva from you. So then that person also has to give back. Otherwise, people will make it a nice business. Right? So when people know, oh my God, it's a serious business, then fools don't enter into it. Fools don't play around with it because it will ruin their life then. So they know it's a serious commitment. I cannot just be a diksha guru. It means I have to be very pure myself. So to keep them also accountable, this system is made. And if the disciple does something wrong, it's your mistake too. Why did you accept so many disciples? Or why did you not correct them when they did something wrong?
But as a disciple, I feel that okay, my impact of my bad karma.
No, the thing is, you see, rather than being sentimental in this way, one should just stop doing wrong things.
Yeah, that's correct, but still, somehow or other, we are fallen souls, and anything can happen in any.
So then, in that way, we should not take initiation. We should wait. We should wait, not take initiation. We should wait. Okay, let me become qualified, and then I'll take initiation. Right, and after that, also, if accidentally something happens, then that's okay. It's not that Krishna doesn't help. Krishna also helps his pure devotees, because though the bad karma goes on to the head of the devotee who is the diksha guru, but if that diksha guru is sincere, then Krishna will not let that diksha guru suffer so much. Krishna will take care of that bad karma. When the diksha guru suffers, we should know it's only a pastime. It is called acharya leela. The acharya is doing leela. Because when the spiritual master physically suffers, it gives greater opportunity to the disciples to serve. So it's a pastime. It's a leela. Okay. Yes, Kunal.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Actually, my question is, I'm very new to Krishna consciousness, and I have very few devotee friends. So at times I hear them saying that their senior God brother, I will say, usually impose on them that they should avoid associating with other God families, and they usually complain about this, and there were even conflicts among the God families. So I was thinking, tomorrow, if being the junior most devotee, and if I have to face such situation in the future, and where a senior devotee is telling me to behave in that way, how do I tackle this situation? Knowing that this is not the right attitude, in Krishna consciousness.
You see, when your senior is wrong, you don't have to follow that person. Right? Because we'll discuss about it later. Guru is guru as long as the guru is doing the right thing. When the person is not doing the right thing, then that person is not to be offended. That person is not to be disrespected, but there's no harm in keeping distance from that person. Right? So when you come to know that someone is superior to you, but is telling you something to do something which is not correct, then you can have your individual take on it or call on it. It's not like I must do it because it's been told to me by my superiors. No, you use your intelligence. You look at it from the scriptural perspective. You talk about it to other Vaishnavas, devotees. You discuss with them, and then you act accordingly. Right? We need not follow blindly. It's not needed. Okay, right? And we should be convinced that if we are sincere, Krishna is helping us, and we are doing what is to be done. Such things should always happen. Rishika Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I was discussing with one of my Shiksha Guru. She said, I asked her if we should rush through this process of initiation or, hurry up in doing that. So she said, yes, we should hurry up because, all the Prabhupada disciples, direct disciples are disappearing and we should take initiation from them. So
Why?
I don't know how, because they've personally associated with Srila Prabhupada.
So what?
I did not ask that, but probably that mentality, I don't know how to proceed with that mentality.
So you should ask. You should tell that it doesn't matter whether someone personally associated with Prabhupada or not. Because there are so many disciples of Prabhupada who did not spend so much time with Prabhupada. Like, let me give you an example. Let's take the example of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. How much time he spent with Prabhupada?
Prabhuji, I don't know much about him.
Not much, right? So does it mean then only those who spend time become qualified to become pure devotees of Krishna? These are only material considerations. These are not actual considerations, right? So we should know one thing. There are two kinds of faith. One is called Laukik Shraddha and the other is called Shastriya Shraddha. Laukik Shraddha means faith based on social things, social considerations. This is social consideration. Shastriya Shraddha means faith based on the instructions given in the scriptures. That's called Shastriya Shraddha, right? So sentimental people who do not know scriptures, they always talk like this because they have zero knowledge of scripture. So their understanding is just based on sentiments, right? And that's not the right way to look at it. Our approach should be based on what is given in the scripture. What does scripture say? Scripture doesn't say that, okay, if it's Prabhupada's direct disciple, that person will be a more powerful guru. There's nothing like that, isn't it? It's more about, when I say I'm taking diksha from some person, it's all about whether I'm able to get that guidance from that person, that direction from that person, that I'm able to make a very nice progress in my Krishna consciousness. That's the most important thing, Now, the other thing is that I can just satisfy my ego. Oh, I'm initiated by a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. But that won't help me. Will this much just help? If I just do this much, will it help me throughout my whole life? No. Right? So we should not do that. It's not that we should not be eager to take initiation. It's not that we should not take initiation from Srila Prabhupada's disciple, but we should let the process work the way the process should work. Right? So how the process will work? The process is, let me approach Krishna. Let me approach Srila Prabhupada. Let me pray to them. And let me ask them to make the arrangement that the Guru comes to me. Not that I just whimsically find someone. Isn't it? Because you see, when it comes to you, you should take it Krishna's plan. When I do it on my own, then it's my own whimsical approach. When it comes to worshipping deity also, those people who are in hurry, what they do is that they'll go to the market, buy a deity and start worshipping. But that is not the right way of worshipping the deity. The right way of worshipping the deity is the deity should come to you. Someone should give you the deity. Okay, from today, start worshipping Krishna. Krishna should come to you. That means Krishna now wants your worship. Right? Otherwise, I just go to the market and I shop Krishna. Is it possible to get Krishna by shopping Krishna? No. So similarly, the Guru comes to our life. So for that purpose, let us internally start feeling the need that without a Guru, without a shelter, I'm nowhere. My life is useless. Oh Krishna, please help me. Please send such a person in my life. Then let Krishna also do his job now. He will send. Then whoever that person may be Srila Prabhupada's disciple, that person may be Srila Prabhupada's disciple's disciple, that person may be Srila Prabhupada's disciple's disciple. It doesn't matter. Because it's parampara. Right? It's parampara. Okay. So we that's why we have this course. Our decision should not be based on only some whimsical sentiments. Yes, someone else raised the hand. Who was it? Abhishek, was it you? Or
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have two questions. One is just you said Lokik Shraddha. What is the basis of Lokik?
Lokik Shraddha means what is socially accepted by people. It's just it has become a reality because people are accepting it.
Okay.
But there is no scriptural evidence for it or no scriptural backing for it.
Okay.
You know.
And my second question is that you said that like how to identify that this is something which is happening is with the Krishna's will or it is our choice, because sometimes we do things whimsically and then we name it as it is Krishna's will.
It's very simple. As I said, the approach should be that instead of I being the doer and keeping that doership mentality, I depend on Krishna. Right? So the first thing is to pray to Krishna. That Krishna, yes, first of all, I must feel the need of having a spiritual master in my life. That need should be felt by me. If I am not feeling that need, then my approach is only an official approach. That need should be there. What is that need? The need should be, oh, without this particular thing in my life is without any direction. I am lost. Right? So that need, so when that need is there, and then you make a request to Krishna, Krishna will fulfill that. He will make the arrangement. But first of all, I need to have that need. That's why the first thing is, we need to create that need within us. Once that need is created, then we need to approach Krishna for the solution. Then we get the solution. This is the path in which you have to pay a greater price. But if you pay a greater price, the returns will also be greater. And the shortcut path is, you don't pay this price. You somehow get the thing done. And then later on, then you have to reorient your thinking again, because you do not do it now. You'll have to do it later. Someday you'll have to do it. Isn't it? So that's very essential. Very, very essential. Very essential. Yes, Surya Mataji.
Prabhuji, what is the process of taking shelter? Because many people ask me, have you taken the shelter of your guru? What is that process?
The process of taking shelter is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process. It means every day you are trying to surrender more. Every day you are trying to become a better disciple. So it's an ongoing process. So we can always say, we have started the process. We cannot say, yes, I am fully sheltered. No, I've started the process. As I surrender more, the shelter will also be more. Right? Now, if you have started the process or not, that's very simple. If you're following that person's instruction, you have started the process.
No, I think it's some registration kind of thing. People
Okay,
are
that's an official thing. So you do that official thing. That's official way of doing it. You do the official thing. You fill up some registration form, you write a letter, whatever those things are. That is the official thing. That should also be done.
Means, as you were talking priorly, that have you asked your chosen spiritual master that will you accept me as a disciple? And if he says yes, then it means I am getting sheltered officially, right?
Yes. If he says yes, then you're sheltered. That person is accepted. Right? So then that person has accepted officially, or at least verbally. So, okay, fine, this is we should ask. Check with that. All right. Okay, fine. Thank you so much. See you on next Monday. You have a break for coming 4 days. We can take out time to study or do the quiz. And we'll meet on one Monday and Tuesday, 4th and 5th session. And then after that on Sunday, you'll have your exam. Fine. Thank you. Hare Krishna.